Hello and welcome to everyone. Today we have a special guest, Jasmine Jasudavicius, UFC fighter, joins us today. And thank you so much for joining. Last time we spoke, we were just having a dream of, inking UFC contract. And nowadays you're riding on a 1-0 in UFC. So Dana White contender must have been a very, very stressful series in your life. How were you preparing for that Dana White contender series fight? Uh, how were you mean, many people say that Dana White is a way more additional pressure because you must finish the opponent, and some people are simply counter strikers. So can you please describe that voyage experience from your point of view?
Yeah, no, it was very nerve-wracking doing Contender Series, of course, and especially because my fight did go to decision, so I was very concerned that I wasn't gonna get a contract. Yeah, it's funny because when he's sitting there right beside the cage, there's so many times that you can see him, and it does add that extra pressure, but the pressure is good, right? Pressure makes diamonds, as they say. So if you can perform under that pressure, then I feel like it's easier to perform for UFC events like moving forward.
How were you preparing for your Dana White contender series fight? How many times were you training per week? Were you working on some different aspects of the game?
So I prepared the same for Contender Series fight as I did for every other fight. I mean, what if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so I was doing 2 sessions a day, every day. Usually I'd take Sunday off. Sometimes I would take Saturday off and then work on Sunday. It kind of depend on my training of what's available, if I needed to get extra sparring in or anything like that. But yeah, same as always. Two a long session in the morning and then a shorter session in the evening. So it'd be like maybe 3 or 4 hours in the morning and then 2 hours in the evening, or sometimes I would only do 3 hours in the morning and then an hour and a half in the evening. But yeah, just making sure that I'm getting everything in, striking, grappling, making sure there's no stone unturned.
What do you think about the importance of cold therapy or cryotherapy in MMA training sessions?
Uh, I think it's good. I don't think it's necessary all the time. I'll use it occasionally if my body's feeling banged up, then I'll use it. But I feel like for me personally, I'm not in like a consistent schedule that I'm making sure to get the cold therapy in. I actually like sauna. I like the heat therapy better than the cold therapy. Apparently, it's good to help you so that your body's used to sweating. So then once you start cutting weight, then your body's already used to sweating, so it'll start sweating right away. But yeah, I think it's if you have any injury or anything like that, mixing that hot for a bit, cold, hot, cold, like bounce it back and forth. I found that was very helpful to me. But
Yeah, considering you live in Canada, I'm also mountain kid, so for me that's normal. Cold therapy is pretty much normal for me. I was entering the creek at 10 Fahrenheit and no problem to me. And people around me are screaming. So how is that in Canada? Is it like normal or?
yeah, exactly what you said. We're so used to the cold. It's cold therapy every time you have to go out and shovel the walkway or shovel the driveway or anything. But yeah, I find I'm pretty good with the cold in comparison to other people. It doesn't affect me as much. I guess that's probably come from living in Canada.
When you found out that you were gonna fight Kay Hansen, how were you feeling, considering that Kay Hansen used to be a clean BJJ fighter, but then she switched her fighting style? I remember her from Invicta. She used to be a clean BJJ fighter, but now she knows now her strikes are pretty much crisp.
Yeah, no, she's obviously a very talented fighter. She was, yeah, exactly what you said, a grappler before, and now her striking looks great. But Yeah, you know what? When I first got the name, I was super excited. The juice is worth the squeeze, as they say. She's got a lot of hype behind her name, and for me to be able to go in there against a girl that already kind of is established, it was great for me. You know, I don't want to go in against a no-name girl. Like, you know, why do that when I could go against the girl that has some popularity and I can steal some of those fans that she has.
So, how were you feeling heading into that fight? Was this additional pressure or additional inspiration, considering that Kay is pretty much established, as you say?
I mean, it was same pressure as always. You know, it's my very first UFC fight against like a hometown girl on a huge card. That's 2 title fights. So of course there was, you know, the pressure, but you know, you just accept it. You get to a point where you realize that there is a lot of pressure, but then you're like, well, you know, no matter what, there's going to be the pressure. So why do I dwell on it?
All right, this is fans' question. What is Jaz's secret to great freestyle wrestling? Considering that Kay is a former BJJ fighter, I'm very much impressed how Jazz survived 3 rounds in the guard without getting submitted. Can she please respond that question?
Yeah, just staying tight. You know, the whole time during camp, one thing that my coaches would always preach to me is like no shortcuts. So we were like we believe that in order for me to beat this girl, play it safe. Don't open myself up. The only way I'm losing is if I open myself up, and then she will capitalize on that. So in order for me to, you know, negate all of her offense when from her being on her back was you know, keeping my elbows in. I'm not going to extend my arms and get arm barred or anything like that. She's obviously talented with arm bars, so worked a lot of that kind of stuff. But yeah, just being tight, being stingy, making sure I'm not opening myself up. And then also doing a lot of wrestling. I have great partners at the Niagara Top Team, and we do a ton of wrestling. We do so much grappling. So just getting the looks from all the different wrestlers in the room, it definitely helped me.
All right, another fan question. Against Julia Polastri, Jasudavicius said high kick. I believe it was round 2. She moved to the right and it was a left high kick. She wasn't even staggered. What is the secret behind the chin?
I just saw it at the last second. I remember that kick, and I remember seeing it. I'm like, oh, and I think I just got like a little bit of my hand up. So I mean, it still hit clean, and I knew it didn't look good. But yeah, it's like the one that knocks you out is the shot that you see coming, and I luckily saw it at the last second.
Yeah, you defended it pretty well. Another fan question. Against Kay Hansen, it looked like Jazz was rocked in second round. Was she rocked or it was just a wrong impression?
No, just a wrong impression. There was no, I was in more trouble in the Pilastri fight from that head kick than I was at any point with the Kay Hansen fight. No, maybe I just was off balance with my footing, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. So it was a wrong impression. Which is your favorite part of training sessions, considering you're training very much a lot every single day?
You know, I go through waves. There'll be like times where I've fallen in love with boxing and I just kind of like put a lot of my focus on that, or I'll fall in love with, say, like Greco style wrestling, or I'll fall in love. So I kind of go through a little bit of like trends. Like right now, I'm loving boxing, so that's why I brought it. But yeah, I don't know. Ask me what my favorite is today, and it will be different tomorrow. So right now, I'm liking boxing though.
Against K, you were plus 2-0 underdog, and majority of my fans put money on you, just to know. They were pretty much confident. We were having one discussion, and like 70% of people said if both go down, there's no way Jazz gets submitted. And I said, yeah, no way. But majority of my fans were actually worried about fighting on the feet. So what are your thoughts on that about from your perspective?
Yeah, the matchmaker or the odds makers, they were sleeping on me a bit. I understand, you know, she's been in the UFC for a couple fights, and I was just coming in there. So, I mean, rightfully so that they're making the judgments on that. But I'm just happy that I made a lot of people money. There's so many people that messaged me and said, "Oh, you know, you were 3-1 underdog, and you made us like 10 grand or whatever it may be." But yeah, that was awesome. I wasn't too concerned about her jujitsu. Like, of course, I was making sure that I was positionally sound, but I was ready.
Yeah, one of my fans, I think he said decision on you was something like plus 450, something like that, or I think even more.
Yeah, it was crazy. The odds when they first came out, it was nuts.
Yeah, I remember that. So you said that cat is your favorite animal. So how much time are you spending per day with the cat?
No more time now that I'm not in camp. I love cats so much. Yeah, I definitely sleep with her every night, and it's great. It's so nice having a nice animal that you love.
Majority of also people that I follow are saying that cat is a great way to cure your stress and your frustrations, that it is pretty much a great way to calm you down. So what are your thoughts on that? That's question one. Question two, can your cat feel if you're nervous or injured?
I think that she can. I noticed that you know, if I am, say, having a bad day, or if I'm you know, not feeling the best, then she's a lot more sweet and like loving with me. Whereas if I'm having a good day, she's more playful. But yeah, I you know, the Egyptians, they like praise cats because apparently when they purr, it's like the octave that they purr at is like very calming, and it's like a healing thing. So I don't know, I believe in that. When she's laying on my chest and she's purring, I feel like she's healing me.
So which is the breed of the cat? I forgot to ask you last time we talked.
She's just a tabby cat, just regular brown, like lighter brown, darker brown. I'll post a picture sometime. She's a good cat. But I also, my sister has some hairless cats that I always go and visit.
That's awesome. Majority of my friends are having cats, and also when they see me in the streets, majority of cats approach. So I guess they can feel if somebody loves cats or not. So when you visit your sister, cats also approach or stay away.
No, they approach cats usually, like, sometimes it takes a little bit for them to warm up to humans. That you know cats are kind of finicky, but I think that I'm a little bit of a cat whisperer. That eventually that they'll come up and love me.
They also say for me, like one of my cousins, for example, his cat didn't want to listen to him, and I told him what to do, but he believes that he was behaving like the cat is a human, and cat has her own needs. And just like catifying the house, it's not, it's not a rocket science. You just need to put a few shelves and that's it. But people don't know that. So about your cat, she eats in the morning, eats in the evening, and spends the rest of the day with you, or how is her day looking?
She has a pretty uneventful day. She usually wakes up. I feed her in the morning. It right now, because it's so much snow here, then she'll stay inside. But normally she loves going outside, and where I live, there's a big field across the street. So she'll go out there and hunt mice and birds, and she always brings them back and leaves them on the doorstep for me. One time, this was when she was still a kitten. She was like 6 months old. So she's not very big at this time, decent size, but she's not fully grown. And she somehow caught a rabbit and dragged it back, left it on the front doorstep for me. the rabbit was the same size as her. I couldn't believe it. And then she ended up sleeping for like 2 days straight. It must have been exhausting to bring that rabbit back. But always birds, mice, every day in the summertime, every day she's bringing birds and mice back, and she'll eat their heads and stuff. She's a wild one.
So you say she's a wild one. Is she destroying your furniture?
No, she's very good in the house. She comes in and sleeps, spends time with me. But when she's outside, that's when she has her wild behavior. She's a very, very good cat.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the cat of one of my friends. Also like ordinary cat, gray cat. But when she's in the house, she doesn't even jump on the bed. She's just very much down to earth. But when she's outside, she's also hunting, making a mess. And also kind of reminds me of her. So how long do you have your cat?
I've had her almost 2 years now. Prior to this cat that I had a cat before. I had her for like 25 years. I got her when I was like 6 years old, and then she just passed away Christmas Eve, like 2 years ago. And that was a really hard one for me, because I had her, through all my developmental years, and she was a great cat. She would sleep beside me, right beside my head every morning, and she was with me, like, going through college, and I miss her.
So does purring relax a human? Like when the cat purrs, is it relaxing, or how does a man feel? I mean, to me that sounds pretty much relaxing.
Yeah, I think when the cat purrs, I think it calms you down, it makes you relax, and it's nice to just sit there and take some time, pet the cat. She's purring, you're both enjoying it.
You probably know James Lynch, like he's a good friend of mine, and when he was talking about Fuji, he told me, well, my cat is waking me up every morning, like she has a mental clock. So is your cat doing the same, or?
She sometimes does, not too often. She's pretty good at sleeping in, but sometimes she'll wake me up, and she always rubs on this one lamp that we have, and so it shakes. It shakes the lampshade and makes noise, and it's like she'll keep doing it, keep rubbing it until I get up. It's the worst, but luckily she doesn't do it too often.
Well, yeah, also my friend, for example, if he doesn't feed his cat in the evening, sometimes he forgets, but if it's 10 p.m. and the cat didn't eat, cat just lays here on the top of his head. And when he wakes up, he goes insane. But, or for example, the cat sits in front of TV. She doesn't want to let him watch TV.
No way, that's funny. She knows exactly how to get him.
Yeah, exactly. Or for example, when he's at PC, the cat lays on a keyboard. Yeah.
That's funny.
So your cat is not doing this.
She doesn't do it too much. A little bit. She'll bug me. Like sometimes if there's a cup of water that's near the edge of the table, she'll hit it over. She does that silly cat stuff. But she's pretty good.
Yeah, at least. But every cat is at least a bit stubborn. I mean, it's in their nature, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. So about your future UFC plans, do you have somebody locked in your sights? Did they tell you something? Did they told you something for the potential next opponent, or you're still like gonna wait what's gonna happen?
So nothing's booked yet. I'm hoping to get in there pretty soon. I'm nursing a little bit of a shoulder issue that I have, that I'm babying it a bit, but it's not going to affect my training or anything like that. But yeah, I'm hoping to fight soon. I'm going to talk to my management. I just switched management, so we're going through the process, and hopefully we'll book something. I'm hoping to maybe fight April or May, ideally.
Yeah, I understand. So next time we watch you, I hope you're gonna be underdog again to bring more money to people.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Yeah, some people enjoy when they are underdogs, and some people hate when they are underdogs. So you enjoy.
It doesn't even make a difference to me. I don't even I like being an underdog to make my friends money, but at the same time, I'm happy either way.
Yeah. Also, uh, this is the last question. My greatest fan has a question for you. Which is the length of those UFC trunks? How much is the length? Because she was thinking about longer or shorter trunks. So, which is exactly the length of the trunks you were wearing for Kay Hansen bout?
Um, I think I think they were 2 inch or maybe 3 inch. But I'm not sure. You can get them longer or shorter if you desire. The UFC is pretty good at tailoring. So what happens is you'll try on your fight outfit a couple days before when you go in to like check in for fight week, and you'll get your fight outfit, and then they'll tailor it. However, if you do want it shorter, if you do want it longer, if the top doesn't fit right, or if your name's spelled wrong or anything like that, they've got people there to make it exactly as you would like. But the ones that I have, they fit great. They only have to tailor in a little bit on the one side, but yeah, I think it was like the inseam was 2 or 3 inch, I think.
Thank you so much. Next time, hope to see you in the ranked status. I mean, if you score a few back-to-back wins, I believe we might see you in the top of the division pretty much soon. Thank you so much for the interview. Do you have some recap message for the fans, please?
No, just looking forward to getting back in there, and I love my fans so much. There were so many people that messaged me before and after the fight, just congratulating me and showing me all like support and love, and yeah, I like this is why I do it, right? So I love the fans, and I love getting all the messages, and so thank you very much for having me so that we can show it off to the fans.
Thank you, Jazz. Have a great day. I will try to post this today. If I don't have time, then I'll post it tomorrow.
Sounds good. Have a good one. Nice chatting.
All right. Good night, Jazz.
Bye.